Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai Ba'Shem Akakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, preaching His word truthfully and sincerely. And shalom to the Akim, scattered in the four corners of the globe, preaching the word truthfully and sincerely. And shalom to the Akim that be like unto the speckled bird, preaching the word truthfully and sincerely. And I say shalom to you Akim out there. And this is a sit-down lesson on December the 27th, 2022, on this Tuesday afternoon at 2:05 p.m. Central Standard Time. And this is a news article from Reuters.com, published December 27th, 2022 at 3:59 a.m. Central Standard Time. Last updated 8 hours ago, and this was a 4-minute read 4 minutes ago. And the highlight of this news article, and it reads by Yimlo Yi and Anna Wang that published this news article from Reuters.com. And it reads, from Asia Pacific, Taiwan to extend conscription to 1 year, citing China's rising threat, meant to say Slovakia. And it says Taiwanese flags are seen at the Ministry of National Defiance of Taiwan in Taipei, Taiwan, December 26, 2022, by Reuters of Anna Wang. Taiwan will extend the compulsory military service to 1 year for 4 months from 2024 due to the rising threat the democratically governor island faces from its giant neighbor China. President Tsai Ing-wen said on Tuesday, the move, which has been well flagged, comes as China ramps up military word that again. It says the move, which has been well flagged, and come as China ramps up military, diplomatic, and economic pressure on Taiwan to assure its sovereignty claims, including almost daily Chinese Air Force mission near the island over the past 3 years. And it says that Tsai said Taiwan wanted peace but needed to be able to defend itself. As long as Taiwan is strong enough, it will be home of democracy and freedom all over the world and will not become a battlefield, Tsai told a news conference announcing the decision to extend the conscript period, which she describes as incredibly difficult. The current military system, including training reservists, is insufficient to cope with China's rising military threat, especially if it launched a rapid attack on the island. Sash says Taiwan wants to tell the world that being democracy and dictatorship will firmly believe in democracy. Between wars and peace, we insist on peace. Let us show the courage and determination to protect our homeland and defend democracy. Conscript will undergo more intense training, including shooting exercise, combat instructions used by U.S. forces, and operation more powerful weapons, including a Stinger anti-aircraft missiles and anti-tank missiles, Side says. And it says, continuing on with the news article, Taiwan has complained of delayed U.S. armed deliveries this year, including Stingers, but Tsai said the situation improving after a discussion with the United States. A de facto U.S. embassy in Taiwan welcomes the announcement conscript reform. The United States committed to Taiwan and steps Taiwan takes to enhance its self-defense capability, contribute to the maintenance of peace and stability across the Taiwan Strait, and within the region. The American Institute of Taiwan says Tsai's security team, including a high-level officials from the Defense Ministry and National Security Council, has been reviewing Taiwan's military system since 2020. An official briefly on the matter told Reuters Taipei, which rejects Beijing's sovereignty claims to Taiwan on Monday, reporting the large ever Chinese Air Force incursion into the island's air defiance uh, identification zone, with 43 planes crossing the unofficial buffer between the two sides. China also staged war games near Taiwan in August following a visit to Taipei by U.S. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. China a major concern. Taiwan's government says only the Taiwan's people can decide their future. China's various unilateral behavior has become a major concern for regional security, said the official who took part in a high-level security discussion. Conscription will be tasked with guarding key infrastructures, enable regular forces to respond swiftly to the event of any attempt by China to invade, the Defense Ministry says the same press conference. It says Chi Chung, researcher at the National Policy Foundation of Taipei-based think tank, estimate that the extension could add up an extra 60,000 to 70,000 manpower annually to the current 165,000 strong professional forces in 2027 and beyond. Even an extension, however, the period of service will still be shorter than the 18 months mandated to South Korea, which faces a hostility of nuclear-armed North Korea. Tsai is overseeing a broad modernization programming championing the idea of asymmetric warfare to make the island forces more mobile, agile, and harder to attack, while the United States has pressed Taiwan to modernize its military to make it like a percute, agile, and hard to attack. Tsai said there has been no pressure from Washington for these reforms. I meant to say Slovakia. It says China's growing assertiveness towards the island it claims as its own, as well as the war in Ukraine, have prompted debate between Taiwan how to boost defiance. Tsai said a few things have been learned from what the war have been incorporated in Taiwan's defiance reform. Notice that the Ukraine ability to hold off more larger Russian forces have given the international community to render assistance. This is the book of Mark, chapter 13, verse 7, and it reads through the Holy Scriptures. And when ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars, be ye not troubled, for such things must need be, but the end shall not be yet. Meant to say Slovakia. Verse 8. This is the book of Mark, chapter 13, verse 8, and it reads, For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And there shall be earthquakes in divers places, and there shall be famines and troubles. These are the beginning of sorrows. Right. So this continuing military service extended from the president of Taiwan. As you see, you got the increasing rise in tensions from China, as they had about like 72 warplanes. I say day before yesterday. I did a lesson on that as well too. over there near the islands of Taiwan, close to that area in that region, So these tensions are definitely stirring up between Taiwan and China, because China still wants Taiwan to be under that one China policy, and China still thinks Taiwan is part of China, is part of the mainland China, even though Taiwan has their own self-governing sovereignty country, even though I believe they're not fully independent as a country in that island region. But Taiwan is getting help from the United States as well too, and that kind of angers China. So these tensions are definitely stirring up in that region. You know, as you see more activity increasing in that region, so that's what you call a increase once again of a war and rumor of wars, and the nations against nations and kingdom against kingdoms, and that's what we're consistently seeing building up more and more and more, as the scriptures has stated. Of the nations are definitely going to increasingly going against one another, if it's over territories or conflicts of economics, or it can be a political agenda, or sometimes it be, like I mentioned before, a cross-border conflict, a cross-island conflict, across the sea conflict, and that's what we're seeing between Taipei, Taiwan, and China, because China still see Taipei as one of them, and China doesn't like the fact that United States interfering with that to help Taiwan protect them against China, and China doesn't like that from the United States. That's why you see these tensions are building up, That's why the nations against nations and kingdom against kingdoms is building up and increasing, We're going to see it more and more and more, now so more than often, So with that, I just wanted to bring out this lesson of this news article of from Reuters.com. As you see right here, Taiwan to extend the conscription to 1 year, citing rising China threat. So they're going to mandate the